hope you're doing well today. And for my Ocean Youth project, I decided to figure out an alternative for shark nets and smart drumlines. So firstly, what do shark nets do? Well, technically, they're meant to protect humans from getting attacked by sharks, but that's not exactly what they do. They trap poor sea turtles and many other animals and make them die, basically. Shark nets kill marine life and don't protect humans. And 94% of the animals caught are non-target, including rays, dolphins, and turtles. Many marine scientists have said that shark nets are ineffective and harm protected and endangered wildlife species, yet the government doesn't do anything about it. Shark nets are responsible for over 100 million deaths per year. And well, smart drumlines aren't really any better. So they're basically a device created to lure in the sharks and trap them using large baited hooks. And although there are no official reports saying sharks have died using it, there have been many sightings saying that they've been left hanging on hooks for hours, which have basically killed them. And they've caught basically 144 target animals and released alive, but they're not really alive. They're technically almost dead because they've been choked, and yeah. So I did this because sharks' home is basically the ocean, and technically the humans are invading them and killing them for no apparent reason. And I've always been really passionate about animals. And last year, I think there was like this huge news thing about how like a human died because of shark nets. Yet it didn't really help. The shark nets didn't really help. I figured there would be a better thing to do. How? Well, a crazy idea was basically like a shark deterrent using sound waves and communicating with the sharks. Not really, but like communicating with them and like driving them away from the coast. Like a warning system using satellite connection at the beach to alert the humans as well. So using frequency and vibrations, I found out that sharks seem to dislike dolphin noises and orcas. And sharks have quite sensitive hearing, and they can hear from distances ranging from 90 to 250 meters away. So sharks versus dolphins, well, they're not really sworn enemies. They're actually, well, technically, if a dolphin's around, there's most likely to be a shark. Because they have the same food pattern and hunting areas. So I was thinking, if you put like shark noises away from the coast, wouldn't the sharks go to dolphin noises? The sharks would go to them, and orcas near the coastal areas, because orcas kill sharks. So basically, my idea is place shark communication around the coastal areas and an underwater speaker to have them produce dolphin and orca calls, which can be activated using motion technology and detection. And wait, sorry. So basically, it would be activated using satellite frequency waves that can detect the sharks, which would basically lure them away from the coastal areas and hopefully protect the humans. And obviously a lot of further research is needed, but I really think this idea could work. And thank you for listening.
Yay!
Meenu.
That was so good.
So this idea is one that I feel like hasn't really been overly explored in terms of the science community. I'm not sure, Peter or Claudette, if you've seen many scientific articles about this kind of topic, but I don't think I've seen much focus on it. So it's definitely one of those more reserved topics that scientists aren't looking at as much, but it's something that is so important. Like just recently we saw up on the Queensland coast that someone died up on a beach where shark nets were. So the shark nets did absolutely nothing to stop the sharks entering the area. And as you said, Meenu, they just kill so much wildlife, and most of them aren't even the targeted species. So it is a huge issue.
Claudette?
This is actually an issue that is so close to my heart. when I first started Sea Life Conservation Fund, which was Sydney Aquarium Conservation Fund at the time. This was my first project. And I actually got a grant to try and raise awareness of the coastal communities that nets were even there. Because when I started 15 years ago, I knew they were there, and a very small proportion of people knew they were there, but most didn't. And it's one of those classic out of mind, out of sight kind of situations. But when you see the carnage, it is absolutely horrendous for no real apparent reason, given that there have been attacks on netted beaches. So I've been very, very active in this space over the last few years, and there are so many flaws in the management policy. There are so many different ways we can go about getting the same result less harmfully.
Yeah.
And this is a very, very, it's become a political issue rather than an actual safety issue. The government feels as though they can't be seen to back down. That's where we're getting this sort of baited drumline discussion over the shark net situation. We end up having both. Apparently the shark nets are supposed to have these deterrents, these sound deterrents on, but when activists have gone out, a lot of them don't actually work. They've had batteries that have run out. So it very much needs a light shone on it. And funnily enough, I actually posted something today on our Facebook page. Sea Shepherd have got their No Nets Now campaign going, which is to get shark nets out. So your timing is impeccable. And I think it is very much definite one to keep in our radar, because the collateral damage from our marine life, from the turtles alone, they've been able to see declines in numbers just from the catch rates over the last 50 or so years in Queensland, because Queenslands are out all year, every year. Whales, turtles, rays, the whole lot. It's devastating. So the more light you can shine on this issue, people would be appalled if they were to see it firsthand, and they should be seeing it firsthand because it's happening on their watch. So well done. And I think, yeah, absolutely, your idea's got legs. It's a matter of getting to the fisheries and working with them and trial it. I mean, they're doing stuff. They are actually doing stuff. So well done on your research.
And I was also thinking, Claudette, like we heard from Leo at AMCS, which is shark conservationist up in Queensland, and he was saying this is just a massive issue, and like you said, it's turned political. If it's something you really want to work with, Meenu, it's something that a lot of universities, I think, will be looking into.
I contacted Leo, and he said we'll have a Zoom call in about 2 weeks. So we'll see how that
Awesome. There you go. So working with the AMCS, they're at the forefront of knowing what technology's out there, who's working on it at the university level, who's, creating different variations of shark deterrence. So if it's something you're really passionate about, and your idea definitely, I mean, I think it makes sense. They don't like orcas, they do like, dolphins, things like that. This is a pathway you could definitely go down in some sort of form in the future. And I just love your enthusiasm. When we had your meeting with you and over Zoom, Meenu, it was just such a passionate idea that you had, and born out of all the right reasons. And I think having a young voice in that space would be just amazing. So yes, Claudette.
One other thing, just sorry on this, because I am passionate about this issue as well, but there've been past Ocean Youth participants, or now Ocean Youth alumni, who, especially in Queensland, because it is all year round, you don't have them luckily in Victoria, that have wanted to work on this issue. So even if you were to put something on the forum or sort of connect with other ocean youthers, it might sort of reignite their want to work in this space as well. Because I know we had a passionate shark, she calls herself the Shark Girl, Jess, up in Queensland, and she was really trying to get some headway on this issue. So it would be great for you two to connect, actually.
Cool. Claudette, you may have to work that out post this pitch fest. Try and get these two in touch, Meenu, so you can work together on it in the future. Thank you so much, Meenu. That was so good, and an idea that we're all sitting here going, it just blows our minds that people don't think of it. And the same thing Max mentioned, we forget we're the minority that understands these concepts, and the majority of the population goes, what are you talking about? We think everyone should know, but they just don't. It's all about education.